Hey folks, welcome back. Law Creations here. I'm in my studio probably for the first time in like a month, so I've been cleaning up and just trying to organize and just get refocused, and took a little time off, away from the hobby, not because necessarily wanted to, but just life taking over. Just my daughter graduated from high school. We visited a couple colleges. Just been busy with work, and haven't really had much time or, in some sense, much motivation because of the busyness of life. But had this weekend off from work and kind of quiet weekend, so I took some time to come down to the studio and just kind of refocus, clean up a little. And as I'm cleaning up, I don't think I've ever done necessarily a video on the paints I use and what I use on particular dioramas or custom action figures, because when I'm working on dioramas or when I'm working on custom action figures, my paint varies. I use specific paints for my dioramas, and I use specific paints for my custom action figures. First, let's cover the paints I use on my dioramas. These are your typical craft paint that you can pick up at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, AC Moore. Folk Art is a really good quality paint. You can pick that up for like $1 at your local Hobby or Walmart or wherever. It's reasonable, and it applies very nicely to dioramas. It goes on nicely to foam, dry brushes nicely, and it's a good paint to put on your dioramas. Americana is another one that I use. I have a whole bin full of the diorama paints right here, and it all varies. It's Americana, Folk Art, and the Kohl's. And Americana is the same way, same price, probably about $1. And I use Mod Podge. The only reason why I use Mod Podge is I mix it and I blend it with my black when I prime my dioramas. So the Mod Podge gives it a little extra protection for when you're priming. And Nicole's is an AC Moore brand, and I picked these up for 50 cents, 55 cents, and that's what I've been going to a lot lately, because you get the same amount, and it's good paint for your dioramas, and for 50 cents you can't go wrong. And that seems to be what the three paints that I go to on my my dioramas. Now, these three particular paints I do not use on custom action figures, just because of the quality. They're not up to par with your Reaper Master Series, Vallejo, P3. I'm not saying you couldn't use these on custom action figures. You could. But my choice and my preference is to use the higher quality paints on my figures, only because they probably get handled more than dioramas. And the paints that these particular three brands that I use are more durable than the craft paints, I find. And I think if you looked up the the qualities of each paint, you'll find that that these three paints are pretty top notch. And I use it's Reaper Master Series. Most of these are used on like miniatures and in that sense of the hobby. But I love using these on custom action figures. This Reaper Master Series is a little thinner than the others, and it takes a couple coats. You could use it in you could probably use it in a airbrush right out of the bottle, and it would airbrush nicely. Same with Vallejo. Those you can probably airbrush right out of the bottle. But Reaper Master Series is a fantastic quality paint that I like to use. It comes in so many shades and so many that are really awesome. I have my collection of paints here, and I keep them up top here. You can see P3 and a whole bunch of others over there. And so Reaper Master Series I recommend. Vallejo, I pick these up at my Hobby Lobby. Sometimes every time I go, I use a 40% coupon, and I grab a bottle. And Vallejo is awesome. It's a good quality paint to use on your customs. And P3. P3 is a fantastic brand. This one probably applies, it doesn't take so many coats. It applies very nicely, very pretty thick right out of the bottle. And you don't need so many coats. So those are the 3 brands I use. P3, Formula P3, Vallejo, and Reaper Master Series on custom action figures. And I like to use quality stuff on my customs only because of the the paint rub issue and just different reasons, and so that's what I do. And these particular paints I use on my dioramas. You don't want to, sometimes your dioramas are so big you don't want to use expensive paint on them, because there's a good chance if I was to use this bottle on a diorama of maybe a Marvel Legends size, you would use up that whole tube of paint, the whole bottle of paint. And you don't necessarily want to do that. You want to use, you want to keep it cheap. So if you do decide to sell them, you can make a little bit of money. And you don't have to use so much quality paint. But yeah, just wanted to touch base with you guys, let you know I'm still alive, and I still plan on making videos and sharing you the hobby, and I just needed some time to concentrate on family things, and just life sometimes gets in the way of the hobby, and that's okay, because we're all adults and we need responsibility, and we got to take care of our affairs, and then whatever time we have left, you can create and enjoy doing it. Okay, guys, take care, and stay tuned for some more videos of some customs, dioramas, and collections. Okay, take care, guys.